come on. I haven't got a fucking day, motherfucker. Load the fuck up. Cunt off. Hello, no honoured viewers. So I've just been quite busy recently. I've managed to finish off City of the Damned, which I've been working on for basically about, I think, just short of a year. That's now on the itch.io store. You can buy it for Windows and Mac. I think it should work on Mac as well. I've not been able to test it yet, but that's a detective game, sort of like paranormal occult thriller as well. Choose your own adventure game. I've been working a lot on Papyrus 3D recently, then I'm going to pivot off that a bit now, and basically what I'm talking about in this vlog is I'm going to go back onto Nexus Necronomicon for a while, because I've not worked on it for a while. It's a play canvas game. I think it's some good ideas in what I've done so far, which I'll just show now quickly. And yeah, I think it's got some potential, so I think why not just try and get it developed into something that's a bit bigger, and then just try and sell it for a few quid. So Nexus Necronomicon is basic idea is just like an interactive fiction game, like I've been doing for the last few different games, but in 3 dimensions with a very slick aesthetic and quite unique style I'm trying to develop for the game. So I'm going to try and create it so that it's like a almost like toxic neo-gothic futurism, I suppose, if I was going to call it anything. So I'll show like a bit of it. So this is obviously like the menu screen, of course. So you've got this like sort of almost like orthodox music feeling. You've got the book here, which is the next Necronomicon bits referring to. Necronomicon, I've talked about this before, it's just a occult magic book. It's supposed to be a purported black magic book. I used to have a copy of it, one copy of it, just for reference. I don't believe in any of that, but it's just an interesting little. What was the source of inspiration? Just for the idea of from the start. In this game, you basically go into this world where you join a cult. You're seeking knowledge, hidden knowledge. You get you basically well, you'll see in the intro, but this will just sort of explain it. So it's the year, almost the year. It's the year 2199. As well, I live in a highly technological society, but also very greedy society. Go to this mining colony, Martian colony. Join a cult. There's a few goths just dancing about in the church. But yeah, this is sort of like the idea of the. This will be like, this is obviously the intro. And I'll just let this play out, and then I'll show a few other bits and bobs from it instead, and then I'll just talk about how I'm going to go forward with it, I suppose. Having fun, aren't they? So yeah, I've got this camera pathing system which I managed to develop as well. And this just runs, it's the minute's a bit buggy. So that bit, so anyway, go into the editor, let's have a look at a few different scenes we've done. And I'll just yabber on, so that's the church intro there, which was the bit we just saw. We've got church here, which is sort of typical of what the actual interface will be like. That's then the general gameplay. Like I said, not finished, so like this is something I'm gonna have to just get that like nailed, and I don't know, it'll just be a case of content creation really. So once I got there, it's just a case of writing the story really. Like I said, I managed to do it with Twine and then export it out as JSON, which actually does work fairly well. So if I can just get all the dialogue scripts and stuff perfected, I might show some of that actually. But I've not looked at it for a while, so that's I haven't looked at the script for a while, so I'm not even that familiar. I remember it, but have a quick look. I'm not sure. Like a lot of this probably needs optimizing as well, hence the longer loading times of things, loading in terms of assets and stuff. Because I've just probably been deving it, and you know, it's just plunk. You have to plunk in different elements, try things out. It's almost there now. So yeah, there's a lot of this like sort of neon green, I suppose. This bright green as a colour in this game. Because I said like it seems to be like a colour scheme that I'm quite into in this. So, where am I? Doesn't seem to move on much more from that, but it's that. It's one of the environments I was working on. And I think I was working on... So basically, this isn't properly done, but when it's done, and I probably should be lower down really. It's a bit weird me just floating up here. It's a bit of a weird camera angle. But I'll be like... It'll basically be like this, and you'll have to make decisions, and then you'll... So essentially, what we're going to be making is a interactive fiction game, a generic interactive fiction game, but with you're actually in the scenes that you... so that's something I wanted to experiment with as well. You've got the main town, which I think is also just an intro, a path scene, so a scene which has got a path where the camera just moves, I think, from what I remember. There'll probably be... like I said, with the fixed camera eventually, where you've got the different scenes you can navigate to. This might just be like an intro for when you enter it the first time or something. I'm not sure yet. Like there's a lot of disparate elements actually, basically, with this game so far that I'm trying to tie together. But I think I'm pretty much got my head set on the notion that you just go. It's like an interactive fiction game with some cutscene elements, but then essentially you're just a fixed cam. Then you can change between the different cameras, I suppose. I think that makes sense. I think that I don't want to overcomplicate all of this. I think it would make it too annoyingly complicated. Maybe possibly have some interactive elements, so like if you click on a button, it opens a door or something. Obviously, that's one advantage of having it in this 3D environment. You don't have to say like type pick up key or whatever to pick something up. You can just click on it, I suppose. But I'm just thinking ahead. I don't know. Yeah, this is like an intro. Okay, another sort of proof of concept, I suppose I did. Really, sort of like in movie scene. So you can see it's like sort of Soviet brutalism in an industrial wasteland, sort of toxic environment, basically. And this will just run on a loop. And again, that's demonstrating the path and code that I've written. So that I can utilise that quite well, which is good. I can utilise it creatively. Quite a little bit of fog going on there as well. But obviously all these disparate elements need tying together. You can't just have, none of it really means much at the minute. So we've got also One Duck Outskirts, which is probably the last thing I was working on, which I think also has like a dialogue of some sort, but I can't remember because it's been a while since I did it. I looked at it recently. Then I'll just, I'm just going to start working on it, stop yabbering about it, and just get back on this as my main project, I think. Because I think, to be honest, like if I just get like a fairly decent story written, not make it too complicated, not make it too convoluted, I could get something that's playable done within, I reckon, 3 months. Now, City of the Damned took me about 8 or 9 months, but I've also been doing lots of other things on top of that. I was working for a while, full time. I'm not actually working at the minute, so it might actually be, that's quite an advantage in some respects. Yeah, sure, yeah. It's just like a general scene I was creating. It's nowhere near finished. Just like a sort of outskirts of the town. Some of these graphics are created. Also got the sun in the background sort of revolving around. So yeah, at the minute it's like it's basically a load of sketches in a minute really, more than anything else, to be honest. But what might be an easy thing to do, this is not that hard, would be to also create clickable like points, and then if you click on that point, you can move to that point. It's actually really easy. You just have to modify the camera position based on when somebody's clicked. That might actually be a really good idea. That might actually be really a good idea. All I have to then ensure is that there's always something that's clickable within the current camera view, if that makes sense. That is actually a pretty cool idea. Then it makes it a bit like a sort of mist thing, except in 3D and pre-rendered, like not pre-rendered but rendered in 3D. That is not actually a bad idea. So, for example, here you'd have like a circle, and if you want to click on that and update the position of your camera, that would actually be a good solution to the movement, to be honest. Like I said, I could do WSAD for the movement, but again, I have to bring in loads of physics stuff, or collision detection, and I just don't think it's going to be that. It's not like a shooting game. It's not like anything like that. So what's the point, of doing that? Really, the factory is just this. So there's another scene that idea I was working on, which is not really been done. Much been done there. Let's see what it opens up to. But there's just some random ideas I was having. I also loaded in this model, which is just some model I was doodled off. Got a bunch of scripts here, which the main one of which the customizes the low dialogue. Flashlights is just flashes, like flashing a light on and off. Not much really to go into there. They got the pathing, which is just there's a lot to go into there, and it's just basically creating the path to the camera, which I just got from a tutorial on Play Campus anyway, to be honest. Anyway, I've got to wrap that up now. Just thought I'd like do a little vlog about my next project, what I'll be working on, sort of some ideas. Let me know what you think of how that looks. It should be quite an interesting project once it's more polished, obviously. It's not yet, but when it is. That's about it really. And then I think before this gets done, I'll release it as an executable, I think, for Windows. Alright, bye.